Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Bruce Morton, and I'm an associate professor in sciences at Goodwin University. Brief PowerPoint that I'm about to present concerns an assignment in session 4 of the UDL Institute Cohort 7. In presenting this PowerPoint, I will be reviewing a critical event I have encountered many times in teaching introductory chemistry to students hoping to advance into the health science fields. Using the 4 UDL curricular components, which are learning goals and outcomes, learning assessments, teaching methods, and learning materials, using these as a guide and focusing on one stumbling block in Chemistry 101, I've established a critical event and looked into the possible reasons for the problem and possible means of resolution utilizing UDL criteria. A description of my critical event, briefly, focuses on concerns of the presentation of data collected during chemistry lab experiments and how to make sense out of it by painting a picture. Knowing what to do with the data upon completion of the experiments can be difficult, especially with little or no prior training, such as many of our Goodwin students fall into that category. To many of the students, this is the first time they've been confronted with the task of presenting experimental data to others in a format that's going to be understandable. Using the 4 UDL curricular components as a template by which to establish possible reasons for this barrier, I have determined a few possibilities. Under learning goals and outcomes as defined in the course syllabus, I found many technical terms that students are unfamiliar with at the outset of the course, mainly because they have not been exposed to them before. Under learning assessments, I found I have been assuming too much in terms of the background experience of the students. Many of our students have never had to collect data, let alone present it and make meaning out of it. Under teaching methods, I found that I have not been clearly stating the importance of data collection and showing possible methods of presentation. Coupled with that is also not completely defining terms that maybe the students are unfamiliar with. Under learning materials, I found that showing an example or two of real-world use of similar data, especially within the health disciplines that the students may be going into, can be very helpful. So how did I come up with a learning barrier to identify? The key learning barrier that I found was the fact that students, when we put a graph in front of them, don't know what to do with it. So what I'm focusing on deals with my failure to adequately define the rationale behind the reason for presenting laboratory data in a manner that is understandable to others. During my own educational background, inclusive of publishing scientific papers, I have been taught to make data tables and graphs tell a story and stand on their own. In other words, be able to paint a picture for others so that they can understand what you are trying to say and present. As we get into the +1 UDL engagement checkpoints, what I found was using these checkpoints as an avenue that I might be able to implement some, or I'm sorry, to identify some particular aspect within my barrier of the critical event that somehow I can define technical terms used in the laboratory setting and make important, understandable meanings to the student about the value of collecting data and presenting it in an understandable fashion. I found that this aligns with checkpoint 2.1, which talks about clarifying vocabulary. I will show that the data collected while conducted laboratory experiments is very germane to checkpoint 1.3, offer alternatives or visual information. We'll also show examples of real-world data used in the health sciences, such as blood pressure readings over time and how they are presenting to paint a picture for others to look at. This aligns with checkpoint 3.2, guide information, processing, and visualization. A UDL engagement solution. Using my +1 UDL engagement solution to correcting my critical event barrier will be to take the time to stress the importance of data collection and presentation techniques. Particular importance will be placed on understanding how one can paint a picture with data so it becomes self-explanatory to other people. Reflecting on the whole engagement process, utilizing the +1 UDL engagement template as a tool, it is interesting. One can focus on particular aspects of the course and feel out the weak points. It is also easy to see that recognition of one barrier can easily lead to the identification of others. I look forward to implementing some of the procedures outlined in this presentation. Thank you for listening and watching.